Do breed and milking system have an effect on PROFILab? So the first thing we'll do is that we will explain this box plot graph just to make sure that we all understand, and then we'll be looking at a lot of data coming from our lab. So this blue box here represents 50% of all the herds. The white line is the median, which is the herd right in the middle of the group that is represented here. So this will be really, really close to the average represented. At the top of the box, we have the percentile rank 75, and the 25 superior herds, the 25% of the superior herds are here above this line. If we look below here, at the bottom of the box, the percentile rank represented is 25, and 25% of the inferior herds are below this line, so in this category here. So the highest herds will be up here, and the lowest herds, it will be here. So just to make sure that we all understand this box plot, as there will be many box plots in the next few slides. So this is the data coming from our lab in December 2019. It shows that breed has a strong influence on the fatty acid profile. So if we start by looking at our Holstein group, the Holstein is this green box here. So we see that Ayrshire, Brown Swiss, and Canadian are all really close to the Holstein average, but a little above it. Jerseys are way up here. So the Jerseys is a group that's really different from Holsteins, so they will on their own specific benchmark. If we look at true protein, it's pretty similar. So the Holsteins are here, and the Jerseys are up here, and the other breeds are somewhere in between here. So now if we look at breed and at each different fatty acid groups, this is represented in milk basis, so grams per 100 grams of milk. So if we look at the Holstein box, so again this green box here, and we look at the average for Holsteins, we see that Ayrshire, Brown Swiss, and Canadian are close to this average. And if you look at the scale here, you know, we are talking really, really small numbers, so 0.2 difference. So we see that, you know, Ayrshire and Brown Swiss are quite close to the Holstein average. Canadian are a little up here, but there are not many herds anyway in this category to have a benchmark. And if we look at the Jerseys here, they are way above in different values. So they have their specific reference number for fatty acid because they tend to be really different than the Holsteins. And if we look for mixed, preform, and polyunsaturated, it's pretty similar. So, you know, Ayrshire and Brown Swiss are close to the Holstein average, and Jerseys are way above here. So this is on milk basis. And now if we look on the fatty acid basis, so these are the same graph up here, and down below here this is on the fatty acid basis, so grams per 100 grams of fatty acid, we come to the same conclusion. So all the breeds are really similar to Holstein except Jersey, which will have its own specific benchmark. So that's why we think that we don't need more benchmarking than Holsteins and Jerseys, because all the other breeds seems to be quite close to the Holstein average. Again, Jersey cows, they tend to be a little different, but they also respond to heat stress differently than other breeds. So this is the trend of the de novo mixed and preformed fatty acid in months. So starting May 2019 to March 2020. So if we look at the green one, again, these will be our Holsteins, and the red one is our Ayrshire. So these two curves really are similar from one another. This is in the milk basis. We see that the Jerseys, they have a similar trend, but they don't go far down as much as the Holstein and the Ayrshire. So we know that Jerseys are known for being more resistant to heat stress. So it might be interesting to see their profiles and see the difference for these breeds. Now, if we look at milking system, we find that there are no difference of milking system on the fatty acid profile. So again, this is in milk basis. If we look at the de novo, you know, like if we look at the average for each category, so we have milking parlor in green, pipeline and robot is the purplish one, we see that, their average are all really, really close to one another for de novo. Mixed, preformed, and polyunsaturated is the same thing. So we do not come with different benchmarking based on milking system because the data is really, really close to one another. There's not much difference. So we can use the provincial average for every milking system and still have like a good reference value. So, some of the robot herds do just as good as milking parlor or pipeline. So you can always use this benchmark, and there are no difference for milking system.